This is PC747 with the Next Up YouTube. I actually did this recording at first using my Chromebook, but I was trying to use a Chromebook video, and went back to try to watch it, and that did not work so well. Now, this video is meant to do several things. One, I was trying to show a video using my Chromebook, but that was not going to work. But I am capturing the audio using my Chromebook. Now, I'm actually using a device called the Comica Boom X-U 1. Now there's a U1 and U2, and the difference between the U1 and the U2 is U2 have, I want to say, 2 transceivers, and this only have 1. So, but basically, I'm using the 1 because I want to test that out. Now, why may this be helpful for those of you who like to record on a Chromebook, whether it be a podcast, audio podcast, something like that, and you want a wireless mic setup, I'm trying to see if this will work and be helpful for you. Now, the way I have this working, I have the plug going into like a dongle that is going into my Chromebook through the USB-C. I actually did try plugging it in to the headphone jack. That didn't work. I even tested trying to do this using my phone, using the dongle, and that didn't work. So basically right now I have it plugged in to the USB-C of my Chromebook. So let's see how well it do with capturing my audio. So I'm also going to use this time while I'm testing this mic to talk about something I've been working on or working with, and it's been helpful for me. And it's using Google Home to be able to control my lights. Now, a lot of you probably already know this, but for those who do not, you can actually set up to where when you leave, whether it be your place, your apartment, all your lights and stuff goes off automatically, and when you come home, they all come back on. And the way that works is if you have smart plugs and smart lights, what you can do is connect them all through, especially if you have Google. Now, I don't know how to do this for an iPhone. If you have an Apple device, as far as if you want to use Apple's version, I think it's Syria, or if you want to use Amazon's version, which is, I want to say it's Alexa or something like that. This is for me talking about those who are using Google Home. Now, if you are using Google Home, you can go in and you should see all your lights and all that stuff. Now, to set that part up, once you get your lights on, or your lights literally on, and you set it up to go to your Google Home, you're going to also have to put that into, quote, your home. And in order to create your home, you're actually going to have to let Google Home know your home location. So if you're someone who would worry about, giving that information to Google, this is not going to work for you. Now, if you're okay, this don't bother you, then what you're going to want to do is when you go into the home screen, you want to hit that plus, and from there, you'll be able to add devices to your home. Now, before you do that, you're going to hit create a new home if you haven't done so already. Once you create a new home, like I said again, you're going to put the location or your address, and Google will sense that as that location being your home. And then when you set up a new device and you add that device there, you're going to have to actually click on the device, hit the settings wheel at the top, and from there you will be able to decide where to name that device and if you want to put that device in a room. And if you have a room set up, like for example, I have a light in a hallway, an entryway, garage, so on and so on. And you can actually put that in a certain room or a certain area. So you can label that. Now, the reason why I find this helpful, especially for those who may live in a cold place in the winter, if you have like a space heater, and this actually was helpful for me. So a lot of times, I have a space heater, and sometimes it can get quiet to the point where I forget that it's on. And the last thing you want to do is leave your place and leave a space heater on, because anything could happen, and you just don't want to take that chance. So I actually looked online to see if I can find a way where I can plug my space heater into a smart plug. So you want to find a smart plug that can handle that kind of voltage and amperage. And you, again, Google it, and you'll be able to find one. So plugged it in, it works fine. Where it helped me out was one day I actually did leave and left the space heater on. I forgot I did. Thankfully, I had it going into that smart device. It automatically killed power to it. So again, even though the space heater was left on, the smart plug basically killed power to it. So basically, the space heater was not on at all. Come back, obviously it sensed that I'm in, and then the space heater came back on. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad I actually had that set up, because last thing I want is to leave a space heater on all night. Again, for one, is a safety issue, and two, is bad on your electric bill, especially again if you're away. So this is something where you may find this helpful. So what you're going to want to do is, once you have everything set up, you're going to want to go into routines. And you're going to want to set up your routines for like home and away. For example, once I go into home, I have it set up where all of my lights and all of my plugs are set to come on. This other thing, I know you're going to see present sense, and I'll explain that in a second. For away, I have the opposite. I have all of my lights and my plug set to off. So once you have that set up, what you're going to want to do is go into settings, and you want to scroll till you see features, and you're going to be looking for present sensing. Once you go into present sensing, it's going to want to obviously sense your presence. It's going to ask you to allow this home, or basically this home app, to know your phone's location at all times. You're going to want to have to turn that on. You're going to see where it shows your phone type, which at the time of me shooting this video, I'm using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. Once you have that set on, it's basically going to sense your location. So once you get out of range, it knows that you're away, and it automatically turns everything off. So basically all it's doing is switching, as you see where it says home and away, it's flipping back from home to away. So once you, again, get out of range, it automatically switches to away because you're out of range. And when it's set to a away profile, everything, such as your lights, plugs, and everything, does what you wanted to do when you're away. Which for me, I want it all to be off. So it turns everything off. When you're home, it obviously turns everything on. Now, as far as how well does this work? When it goes away, I want to say it worked 99.9% of the time. I don't think there's ever really been a time where I've noticed, when I look down, where it hasn't shown, that all my stuff was off. Now, coming home sometimes, there has been times where I've noticed there's been a delay, and that may have been because my phone haven't quite connected to my Wi-Fi, and sometimes if it hasn't done that, or that delay may cause it to not know where it's at for some reason. Like I said, it don't happen all the time, but every now and then do. And the moment I pick up my phone and just just tap the power button, it hooks to my Wi-Fi, and then once it knows I'm on my Wi-Fi, everything automatically turns on. Like I said, a lot of times it's already coming on as soon as I'm pulling up through the driveway. I can see the lights and everything come on. But like I say, every now and then there are times where like, oh, it's still dark. Once I tap my phone, the phone hooks onto my Wi-Fi, then everything comes on. In worst case scenario, there have been times where even now on my Wi-Fi hasn't sensed or came on, so I go to the Google Home and just tap home. You can see it's stuck on away, and tap it from away and go to home. Once I turn it to home, all my lights come on. Like I said, again, that comes in handy because, like I said, I have a garage light that I like to keep on when I'm home or when I'm pulling into the garage. Now, you got the regular garage light, but I have one that's right there by the door, and I like to have that automatically come on and stay on. And definitely I want that light to be off when I'm away because there's no need to have that light on. So hopefully you find this helpful for those who are looking to, use this technology in a way to work for you, where you go away, you can turn all your lights and stuff on or off. And with a lot more people going to smart bulbs and smart plugs and smart lights, you may find this very, very helpful with, for one, being able to save on electric bills, and another, to use kind of as a way to work with other smart devices in your home. Like if you have a Blink camera or some other smart camera and you got it going towards the door, that can be very, very beneficial to have everything to work in tandem.